one of the last times I'm going to see this castle come up on this horizon. Not that I'm never going to return to Japan, but I don't think I'm ever going to live over here. Again, the odds would be somewhat astronomical that I'd be in the same location. There's the castle in Prometheus. Last time. Maybe we might come back one more day. I'm not sure yet. So I did pretty well today. We're pretty close to the front, so we'll be in pretty quickly. I don't think Space Mountain's going to run out of priority pass that quickly. Nana via text has been trying to convince me I could get a second one today. I can't imagine that they will last that long, that the next window for me to get another priority pass open, I'll be able to book another space. Also, I don't think you could do that. I think you have to, you can't hold two for the same ride at once, so unless my priority pass is like in the first hour, I just don't think that's possible. So, and I don't think I'm gonna push it and try to like wait it out and then try to book it when, you know, it's like it's the last time slot. I think it's safer to just take the booking, do the ride once today, and just hang out by the ride at the end of the night to see what the atmosphere is like. I think that's what we're gonna have to do. I don't really want to take the chance and then not ride it at all on the last day. And plus, the real show's not going to be inside the ride. The show's going to be outside the ride, where I'm sure hundreds, if not thousands, of guests are going to gather and clap, and it's going to be an experience for sure. It's like it's a nature documentary. Lena bells are naturally good spotters and are good at recognizing members of the herd from afar. So she's yelling that Space Mountain is only on priority pass. You can't get a standby. You can't get in standby for it. But what you can get in standby for today is a Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blaster. So I think a lot of people maybe aren't planning to return at a later date. And so what they're doing is getting their last Buzz Lightyear in, because this is nuts. But also maybe, I mean, I'm sure some people mistakenly didn't know you couldn't get in the standby for space, went this way, and then we're like, oh, Buzz Lightyear's right there, so let's get in line. Which is the thing that happens in every theme park in the world. People go to something, it's not open, or they can't get in line, and they like, oh, well, what's right there, just get it in, even if it's back here. But here's what we're here for today. I don't know what this demolition's gonna look like. I can't imagine watching them swing a wrecking ball into a space mountain. It's gonna be pretty crazy. Sadly, I'm out of here in a few days, so I don't think I'm gonna get to see any demolition on my last visit, but yeah. So you remember we did, it's hard to believe, like, it's a pretty cool end cap, because it was right at the beginning of my stay that we came and covered the beginning of this event, and now the photo op is the last day of the photo op, with the lines extending into, this used to be the Skyway building, by the way, extending there. In there used to be where you'd play the lottery to see shows. That's what that was in there, Tomorrowland Hall, for the longest time. Now it's going to be extended queue for this photo opportunity today. Of course, no standby line, only get to go in if you have priority pass. They have a wall of cast members down by the store, by Planet M, just giving out the stickers. They just knew they needed people just to give out stickers today. And then, of course, there's tons of people just taking photos with the mountain already. The day has barely begun. Everyone just said, I need the picture with the mountain now. Not late. I mean, I'm sure they'll take more later, too, at night, but it's already bedlam out here. I'm in a nostalgic mood, so I went and got like more pressed pennies this morning. I went and got the drink again to get the cup. And I get my cheddar cheese popcorn anyway, and there was no line, so I'm like, I better get another box. Last shot today to get all this Space Mountain stuff. And of course, all the merchandise is long gone. That all sold out ages ago. A lot back in April, in fact. All right, we're in queue for our 9:40 ride. It's ahead of 9:40, but the line is long, so I got in early because they're not actually scanning your standby pass until you're that far, so you're probably 15 or 20 minutes or so before you even get scanned. So I probably should have gotten the line even a little earlier, but I didn't. The amount of fellow Americans standing outside this ride confused is wild. And they're like, what do you mean I need a priority pass? You'd think, actually, given how much we've used like boarding groups in America lately, you would think people be used to it. I love this. Guests are taking photos with the old Fast Pass machines, which they uncovered just for this farewell, which is really cute.
Do not meet the night ride in the dark that includes sharp turns, sudden lifts, drops, and stops. To ride, you should be in good health. Guests with high blood pressure, heart, back, or neck problems, motion sickness, or other conditions that could be aggravated by this adventure should not ride. Expectant mothers and guests of advanced age should not ride. Please supervise children at all times. Children under age 7 must be accompanied by a person age 16 or over. Persons who do not meet the minimum height requirement of 102 centimeters may not ride. The safety bar on this attraction may prohibit guests of certain body shapes or sizes from riding. ご搭乗になる方は健康状態の良い方に限ります。高血圧の方、心臓、脊椎、首に疾患のある方、乗り物に酔いやすい方、その他アトラクションご利用により発火する恐れのある症状をお持ちの方はご搭乗をご遠慮ください。妊娠中の方、高齢の方もご搭乗をご遠慮ください。お子様が常に目を離さないようにしてください。7歳未満のお子様や16歳以上の方のご案内が必要です。身長102センチメートルに見たので、体格のその頻度と成長についてご搭乗いただけます。非常時には安全を避難していただくことがあります。Attention space travelers. Space Mountain is a fully Expected mothers and guests of advanced age should not ride. Please supervise children at all times. Children under age 7 must be accompanied by a person age 16 or older. Persons who do not meet the minimum height requirement of 102 centimeters may not ride. The safety bar on this attraction may prohibit guests of certain body shapes or sizes from riding. You may need to evacuate on foot in case of emergency.
exit for people taking photos with the decorations. I mean, understandable, right? We've stopped again. You know, a cart for glow stuff is pretty normal, but the only two Space Mountain items they have the glow thing, which is great. But this is like a kitchen organizer. And so there's a cart selling kitchen organizers outside the ride. She has a barrel to spray people. Look at this barrel. Woo! Woo! Look at the backpack. Hey boys and girls, have you ever wanted to review weird sandwiches on the surface of the sun while outdoors with no air conditioning? Well, welcome to our review while Baymax's parade screams at us. We're doing great today. I'm joking. It is murderously hot though, as you would expect. Make sure this mic is on. Cool, it sure is. M-A-X-B-A-Y-M-A. I can't wait for Baymax to demonetize the video. That'll be great. So we're at Huey, Dewey, and Louie's Good Time Cafe. Not Good Times Cafe, the Good Time. You had a singular good time here, and then that's it. You can't have any more at that point. So we're doing the main entrees today, which can all be made into sets that include the French fries and a soft drink of your choice. We're going to start with the shrimp cutlet burger, which is appropriately shaped like Donald Duck's foot. So it's a webbed foot sandwich. How about the wrappers, though? $7 just for the wrapper. The duck bun like melted. So it's a fried shrimp patty with lettuce and mayo, like a mayo-based sauce. Probably like Thousand Island. It's got onion. It looks like onion and maybe even bell peppers or red peppers in there. I'm working with no descriptions here. It's actually not terrible. The bun's nothing special, but I will say compared to other like character buns I've had here, it's actually a little softer and a little more moist than usual. The shrimp one is fine. It's not fishy. It's well cooked. It's a good size. I'm surprised. It's a 5 out of 7 for me. It's okay. It's solid. It's edible, and I wouldn't tell you not to get it. Next up this is an infamous one, the Mickey hand. To the weather when we're together. With your egg and chicken on a Chinese bun, French fries. Although I ordered the combo with this one. So yeah, egg and chicken on a Chinese bun. So I mean, it looks like a fried chicken cutlet in Mickey's hand. There's lettuce in there. There's some like egg salad essentially. I mean, Tokyo and all of Japan known for their convenience store egg salad sandwiches. So oh, my fingers, pal. This isn't bad either. I think the food has come a long way, and I don't think it's I've been here too long, and so I'm getting used to it. I think over the 5 years I've been coming, the food has gotten exponentially better. 6 years now, I guess. The bun is, again, softer, more moist than it ever was any other time I've had it. I wish there was more of the egg. The egg pairs really well. There's only like a little dollop. So that little bit you saw in that clip that's like hanging off the edge of the glove, that's kind of it. It's actually very good, and it is in flavor reminiscent of those convenience store sandwiches, which are excellent, by the way. The chicken is what you expect from here. It's not awful, but there's like a sliminess to it, right? It's not white meat. It's not all white meat. It's a little slimy. The exterior of the breading's fine. It's on the salty side, but it's fine. I think this is a 5 also. It's edible. Again, this isn't where I'm running to eat. I can think of a couple places I'd rather go eat in this park, counter service, but I mean, if this sounds good to you, I think you'll have an okay meal and you'll continue on with your day. Also, the music loop in here is great now that it's back on. It's great. And then we have a Mickey pizza, which is cheddar cheese and sausage. I am in love with this box, let me tell you. This box is magical. So cute with daytime and nighttime Toontown. I'm gonna actually get the pizza out of this box because I'm taking this box home. I'm gonna try. And people can witness my psychosis. It's documented, so when they lock me up, people can be like, oh yeah, well, he did do that on camera, so people know now. I could hear people talking about me and feel them looking at me as I do this. This is weird. There's corn on it? It says cheddar cheese and sausage and say anything about corn. It's so weird. I'm ready to go home. It's almost time. Almost time. The tomato sauce is weird. It's real sweet. Give this a 4. It's fine. Edible again. The dough is real soft. There's no other consistency. It's just real doughy throughout, top to bottom, crust and interior. The red sauce is sweet. But it's not the corn, because I hadn't hit the corn yet. The corn doesn't ruin it, surprisingly. The corn almost doesn't add anything either. I didn't really taste the corn. I think I just wiped marinara sauce on my face. I'm doing great. The sausage it's the bone sausage, which again, not my thing. They're basically just chopping it up and put it on here. We will come back for the bone sausage. We still have to have that. This is a 4. So the other 2 items a 5. I give the pizza a 4. I like Pan Galactic better. I think I give Pan Galactic a 5, maybe even a 6. The toppings sometimes are a little weirder at Pan Galactic though, so you may not have the option. Same thing Captain Hook's. I like Captain Hook's Galley a lot better, Hook's Galley a lot better in Fantasyland too. So this is, out of the pizza I've eaten in this park, this is 3rd. So go to the other 2 before you come here for a pizza. I now need some drink. Last but not least, we're gonna try French fry. They're different here. They're like shoestring. They're real thin. So they're not my ones that I love from Tomorrowland Terrace. Guess what he's gonna say? The same thing he said 15 times already. They're fine. They're not as good as McDonald's, I mean. But I guess nothing wrong with them. So they get a 4 because I think they're one of those things where like everybody prefers a different French fry. Right? There's people that don't like McDonald's French fries. They prefer like Wendy's or Burger King or somewhere else, right? So sometimes it's the preference thing. I think there are some people where I'd have them try both French fries here and they'd be like, oh no, I like the Good Time Cafe one way more. They're real salty. They're not as crisp as McDonald's. Similar shape, right, and texture, but yeah, they got like a 4. So I will say, like, I've eaten here before and really didn't like it. Again, another restaurant I tried years later, and I'm like, it's not as bad. I don't think I'm gonna come back here unless someone really wants to come here. I was with somebody and they're like, you want to eat there? I was like, if you really want to. I've been here enough. We can go eat at the okay restaurant you want to eat at. But yeah, I will warn you, there's no interior seating. There is a big covered area, but I had the umbrella anyway, and I like the light over here better. That's why I sat out here, but it's an okay restaurant. So I don't like sitting under the awning because I like toontown, even though it's like a million degrees outside. You get the view of City Hall, and the gas station. I can see Benny the Cab rocking back and forth. There's a lot of kinetic energy on this side. I don't want to sit under the boring awning. There's nothing in there to look at. So, I mean, I suppose if it was raining, it's nice, but it's not. So, I'm on board with sitting here, enjoying the music and the atmosphere. It's a good time. It is a good time. The package was right. Even with the system they have devised, it is still a 90-minute posted wait time for Space Mountain. So it's just a way to control the queue. I guess they decided like, we'll still let it get to like 90 or 100, but you gotta get this. You gotta get the wait time on. You gotta get the priority pass on your phone. Then we'll let you wait 90 minutes. Really is like a boarding group. Except this ride will work and will likely stay up the entire day. That's the difference. But wow. These are so cute. These are new. It's Susie and Perla from Cinderella, and has a little tassel that says their name, like their signature, and have faith in your dreams. They're coming home. I'm curious how soon the Bon Voyage decor is going to change, because Space Mountain is on here too. Yeah, there's the stamp on the floor. In the store there's a bunch of these, but Space Mountain has one. And then there's the big sticker on the luggage too, just down the way from the passport. Not sure how long these are going to stay. I'm not sure the last time they updated the map at Maihama Station. There's no Fantasy Springs. Raging Spirits is there, so it's post 2000 and was that 4? No, Tower of Terror I think is there too, so it's post 06 then, at least. But the Raceway and Starjets are still on this, so it's been a long time. There's Space Mountain. So, yeah, Beauty and the Beast, none of that's on here. So, this may not get changed anytime soon. So I went home midday. It was too hot. I showered. I washed my clothes that I wore this morning, because again, I'm wearing a Space Mountain shirt, and this has to be the shirt I ride this for the last time. And so I don't know if I said it, but I was able to get a second priority pass. And so it's for now. It's good until 6:20. It's weird because they don't really scan till the end of the queue, and so it's a 55-minute wait. So I figure I have to get in there earlier. I just get the feeling that they didn't think about it, and after the 15-minute grace period, it probably stops scanning and it'll be a whole ordeal. I'm not saying they won't let me in, but I just want to avoid the ordeal. So we're going to go in a few minutes early and wait the 55 and then ride Space Mountain for the last time. It's time for Tom to wax poetically about the historical significance of these places and these things, because people try to trivialize this stuff all the time, right? So this area looks pretty much as it did in 1983, right? But as time marches on, inevitably all of these parks, every day they're a little less what they were originally, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. It's just a sad thing, right? They're supposed to evolve and change and grow. And look, there'll be things that are always here in one way or another, right? Pirates, Mansion, Small World, those things. And in some respects, Space Mountain, right? It'll be a new one. It just won't be what was built in 1983. But it's crazy, opening day things that exceed, 40 years or so don't go away often. And I think the reason is that I think management understands the significance of something that's been around that long, and so it's not something taken lightly, because once it's gone, it's gone. And I think there's a lot of reverence for history here, but there's also the understanding that, sometimes things are not everything maybe they could be, right? I'm gonna go the long way. So we go down the main drag. And Space Mountain was one of those things where I think they realized, while this is the original and people love it, it's, we've seen what Disney's done around the world. There certainly is more this could be. And, I share that sentiment. And I will tell you, I don't really like this Space Mountain, but I respect the fact that it is Space Mountain. It's the original, and it opened with this park. And I don't know that in my lifetime or in any lifetime, I mean, this could start a trend, but I don't know that another original Space Mountain will ever be knocked down and built as a new thing. It's very weird. But here, it's not something they're shying away from, right? Like, they announced several years ago that they were going to knock down It's a Small World and rebuild it in a new spot. So this is almost the second time we've done this, but they then, they relented on that plan, for better or worse. More on that another day, but So I mean, it's Space Mountain. It's an icon of popular culture. It's been referenced in movies and television. It's one of those things when people go to a Disney park, even if they've never been to one in their life, they know it's there. Not that it's at all of them, because it's not. Shanghai doesn't have it, but I don't know that it ever permeated Chinese culture enough for them to know it was a thing anyway, but I mean, this is culturally significant no matter where it's been. You think about it, like, we're approaching in January, it'll be 50 years of Space Mountain in general. Florida will turn 50, which that changed the world. Certainly changed Walt Disney World. It was the end of phase one, sort of the completion of the initial dream. And think about what it's meant for the world since then, right? Like, in Paris, it was the ride that saved the place. Like, Euro Disney, Disneyland Paris may not be open today if it wasn't for Space Mountain. And then here it's the first thrill ride in this park. It was the only. It was the opening day thrill ride e-ticket, and go wide for this. So it was expected that it would be good enough to draw, right? They didn't add Big Thunder for several years later. Until several years later. So, great significance. And also, like, that is, for the original Disney Parks generation, I believe that's what Space Mountain looks like. And as time marches on, it may not be. But, so one last time. Wild to say one last time on Space Mountain. What a weird thing to say. But that is indeed what we're doing. What a cool, wacky thing. I originally didn't even think I was going to be here for this. Originally, I was supposed to go home earlier, and plans changed. And so this seems like the right way to bring this Japan stay this summer to a close, is riding out this whole event and this farewell for space. And we're going to see what the night brings, though. I'm very excited, more so than even riding right now. I'm way more excited just to see what the crowd will be like and what the fans will do to say goodbye. We are back at the Queen of Hearts Banquet Hall and back in the world's worst camera angle for me. I don't know, we're running out of time here, so I don't know that I'm going to complete my quest to try every counter service item at Tokyo Disneyland and Disney Sea, but I think we're going to get to a majority. I have 2 more park days after this, and I'm charting it out, and I'm going to, without overeating, try to do as much as possible. Luckily, Disney Sea, I think, is mostly done at this point. Well, that is the grossest paper straw in the world, though. I gotta get that out of the shot. There we go. So I switched things up a little bit today. Did salad and an entree, which I don't know if you're really supposed to do here, but I mean, people eat less here. It's just a thing. You know, we eat more than most of the world. Us in Europe, I think, eat more than most of the world. Us in particular. But I got the Caesar salad, which looks like a traditional Caesar salad. There is bacon on top, like a lightly cooked bacon. Like it was thrown on the skillet for like 60 seconds, maybe, if even. Can you tell I don't cook? I'm blanking on where else I had a Caesar salad this week, and I was surprised. I was like, oh, it's not going to be anything like American Caesar salad. And it kind of was, and it was better than most. This is pretty good. Actually, the bacon, it kind of, this is going to be a weird statement, the bacon kind of brings it down a notch. There's enough dressing. It might even be slightly overdressed for some people. It's really nicely seasoned. There's breadcrumbs and pepper and little croutons. The bacon is just chewy and undercooked, so it's like, I don't think it works with it. But 6 out of 7. This is pretty solid. So this is an item they've always had here, the steak. Actually, I will say this looks like a bigger portion than it used to be. The slices look bigger. If you're craving red meat and you're at Tokyo Disneyland, you have very few options. And this is one of them. With nice, like a demi-glazed sauce essentially next to it, and the world's smallest dollop of mashed potatoes adjacent. I'm being derogatory. This used to be one of the best entrees in this park, but like I've said, I think things have come a long way, so I don't know. There may not be any more. I've had some decent meals here. Oh, wow. This is vastly improved. They definitely changed the beef. Super tender, very juicy. There's plenty of this sweet glaze, the sauce off to the side. Pairs perfectly with it. These are nice thick pieces. This is a way bigger serving than it used to be. It's on the pricier side for counter service entrees, but I mean, it's steak. Let me try the mashed potatoes, which will be gone in 3 bites. Man, I would kill for a bigger serving of those. Those are unbelievable. I wish the descriptions on the website were better. I think there's horseradish in there. They're really rich and creamy and perfect consistency. They're phenomenal. And then there's like peppers and onions off in the side here. And those are good too. This is a 7 out of 7. This is perfection. Love it. So this has held up over the years and actually I think gotten better. I think the rising tide in counter service at these parks has lifted all the boats. So even here, which was, I think, probably my second favorite counter service in this park, it still is. And that's only just because I love Hungry Bear. For I think a lot of you, this may even be your favorite. Highly, highly recommend.
Doesn't matter if you stay all night.
We got a little more dancing tonight. We had a couple of people over here. It's just not what it used to be. Don't believe the people on social media posting their video from a year ago. But you know this happened to Tokyo Disneyland? I mean, everyone did it at some point, right? That's why everyone in the queue like knows the dance. and they're doing it, because they all used to come do it at some point. They just don't anymore. Maybe it's just been too hot, I don't know. But even when I first got here in March, it was cold and no one was doing it. You still get people here and there. So because they're using this for queue, it's open and you can come in here. There used to be machines on the ground in the middle too, but these are the original lottery machines. So you would come in, you scan your ticket, and it'd be a touch screen, and you follow the instructions. You pick the show, the time, etc. And if you won, it'd say congratulations, and then out the slot would come your lottery ticket, and everyone would clap. Actually, it just made the noise. Do they have one making the noise, or someone playing? Someone might be playing the noise in the background. That was weird. When I said it, I heard the noise. I think someone was just playing it, but this is what was in here my first trip. In a few days, these Space Mountain robot vending machines will also become a thing of the past. And they are Space Mountain related. They have sort of that Space Mountain design on their heads. They're very cute. I don't know that I've ever used them, so I'm going to get a water out of them.
Please supervise children at all times. Children under age 7 must be accompanied by a person age 16 or older. Persons who do not meet the minimum.
Cast members have formed a photography perimeter so that people can gather here right in front and get their photos. I've never done a closing in Japan, but all the telltale signs of Disney attraction closing have happened. We've got managers standing by watching what's going on. We have a lot of people lurking who are wearing park anniversary t-shirts. And I'm wondering if people are lurking because they have a standby pass, and their standby pass, priority pass is what they're using today. I'm wondering if people are going to try to be last, or people are just gathering to clap for whoever will be last, like when they close the rope, or whatever the case may be. I would think this will be more respectful than America, but I'm probably wrong. You know, typically when I enter a line in this park on a regular day, usually some family decided to not enter it together. So based on how disorderly they could be entering a queue in this part of the world, I'm gonna wager that it's gonna be a disaster, but we'll see. I mean, the best operation in the world, there might be a cast member for every like 4 guests over here, so I don't doubt they'll gain control of the situation no matter what, but I'm just dying to see how this is going to compare to anything I've done in Florida or California or elsewhere. I feel what's to happen has all happened before. The managers just backed away. So I assume this crowd these are all the people with the last time slot. And they're gonna pull the usual, oh look at this, now they're yelling at people to move. Oh, now everyone's moving. They got too close. Man, it doesn't matter what language you speak or where you live. We're all the same. all the same. They're all gonna fight to be last. Wow. I've got no skin in this game. I just want to see what happens. I don't know what time they have to get in. They're all gathered here, so I'm guessing it's any minute. My guess would be the last slot was probably an 8:30 end with and you have your 15-minute grace period. That's what I think's happening. I don't know that for sure. I have no actual idea. We're gonna find out. So I called Nana. I called Nana, and as he screamed, she translated. I think they're essentially warning them that they're going to close this standby line when it hits a certain point, so they have to get in at some point or they're not going. So a couple of them have budged, not many. I don't know how much they're going to push it. But it is just like being home. It's no different. They are really trying to get them in. A couple of them, a couple moved. It's a big group, man. But maybe some of them don't have one and they're just doing what I'm doing. I don't know. I'm gonna go get in the thick of this, man. Yeah, more of them have definitely made the jump. It's Japan. I can't imagine someone won't stand there holding the end of the rope and threaten them, and that'll be when everyone goes. But maybe not. Maybe after several minutes of warning, you just do it. I mean, a lot more people definitely got in. But there, you could see it's still a mess out here. He's yelling again. He's pointing. He's like, "Go, please go in." The managers have moved up and are taking action now. I think you have to get in. So I think the people over here were waiting to ride. I think we're in the group of people who just want a photo of this rope closing. Yeah. Oh, they're pushing us back now. I think that's what's happened. Everyone got in all at once, and now no one knows what to do. He's trying to move someone up into the line, and they won't do it. I don't know. Just except there's 400 cast members instead of 5 working. I think the line's back there now. I think that many people got in at once. We're here. There's the rope. That's the rope that will close. How is this Winnie the Pooh gonna ride this? There it goes. He's giant. We're still pushing him in. It's a sea of cell phones. I assume everyone thinks that standby is going to go 0 any second when they've officially closed. That's my thought. I expect such precision here that until that rope closes, that sign will not go off, and my preconceived notion would be the sign will actually go off the second the rope is clipped. Oh, I think that's it. They're doing a last call. These three boys might be last, although I think the Coke contest winners are actually last.
お時間を迎えている方はお早めのご利用お願いします。プライオリティパスお持ちの方、お時間過ぎますとご利用いただきます。お時間過ぎますとご利用いただきます。お早めのご利用お願いいたします。お早めのご利用お願いいたします。こちら最後尾こちらです。ピースマウンテンプライオリティパスお持ちの方、どちらかお時間過ぎましたらいただけません。お時間いただきたいと思います。プライオリティパスの最後尾こちらからご案内を行っております。パスはお時間迎えます。一切ご案内ができなくなります。終了です。お早めのご利用お願いします。こちらからご案内しております。まもなくご案内終了です。
Well, it's not moving now, so this is awkward. Everyone's filming, but there's no movement.
プライオリティパスお時間迎えているお客様ご案内中です。別マウンテンのプライオリティパスお時間迎えているお客様ご案内しております。別マウンテンのプライオリティパスお時間迎えているお客様ご案
They're
内
pushing in. I still don't think they're going to make it all the way. She's got it in her hand. I think that's it. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people out here just to watch the last people go up the speed ramp. All the phones are up, so we must be at the end.
岁的孩子必须有16岁以上者陪同搭乘，身高未满102公分者请勿搭乘。此外，本设施的安全感知规格可能导致某些体型的人士无法搭乘。逢紧急状况时，您有可能需徒步避难。
One last look, although pretty sure the building will be standing when I come back from my last visit of the trip. But a lot of people stayed to say goodbye. A lot of crying. I mean, yeah, not the park I grew up with, so I get it. Been there, not with this attraction, but been there before. Goodbye, Space Mountain, and goodbye, Speed Ram. To the future. If you enjoyed my farewell trip on Space Mountain in Tokyo Disneyland, please hit the like button and please subscribe. You can also support us by joining the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Don't worry, we still have a few more parts of my Tokyo vlogs coming up, so stay tuned for those. They'll be out soon.